Welcome to not the Ugly Truth, but Jamie and Stephanie from the Ugly Truth podcast to talk about Top Chef season 20. God, I told Daryl, I'm like, I want that knife sound.
We need the knife sound.
Indeed. Anyway, so this week, episode 7 just occurred.
Already. Gosh, it's going so fast.
You know, when I was looking at it, I'm like, God, there was only 16 contestants because it looks like there's like 30 of them.
It feels like it, but yeah.
There's so many. Thank God we're back to individual challenges this week.
Yes.
God, I was so relieved. I will say this. There was a couple really funny moments. Now, I don't know about you, but I did not know the guest judge.
The Gananda.
Gananda Anandar.
Yes.
I didn't know him.
I didn't know him either, but they all knew him.
Oh my God. They were like,
yeah.
It's Ananda. And I'm like,
he
who?
was a 2 Michelin star guy. He's very, very...
He's world known. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, I feel dumb.
Yeah. Well, not anymore. Now you know him.
I just wish they would have... I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm like, hey, can you just spoon feed it to me and tell me who this person is? Well, can we get like a little pre-roll of his restaurant and who he was? But they don't do that.
No.
Well, okay.
So I am personally I live in a box. Like I know the American chefs that are famous, but start going around the world. And I'm like, who?
I know. I
should know.
I recognized a lot of the Canadian, there's a couple of Canadian contestants and I recognized them and I thought, aren't they on United States? Like Nicole, for example. I thought Chef Nicole was in US and she's not. She's Canadian.
She is Canadian, but it could be like the Olympics where it's like you come from one country, but you live in another and you're like, I represent Canada, but you live in Michigan.
Sense. That makes sense.
Because she looks very familiar to me.
Yes.
I think she's been on other
renditions of Top Chef.
Other competition cooking shows.
I think you're right. Right. That's probably where I've seen her. Anyway, so this week was your challenge. Well, the quickfire challenge was to grab an emoji.
Yeah, that was weird.
And make something representing the emoji. And of course, poor Victoire.
I was just about to say Victoire, like she
had a rough week, and I'm glad she didn't get eliminated because I think she was just having a rough week.
I hope so.
Mentally, it seemed like she was struggling a bit.
Well, and you know what? Sometimes just the luck of the draw,
she didn't run.
She didn't run, and
didn't get aggressive.
And then she got panicked when she did pick because she didn't have to. There was still other things left besides sushi.
She's like, well, it's not really my strong suit, and I'm like,
then why? You could have literally picked anything else. I mean, granted, there was not much left.
You could have picked rainbow,
but you didn't have to pick sushi.
I mean, there were so many other options. God. And then I'm like, at some point, she's like, this isn't going to be very good. And I'm like, can you just throw it and go get another one?
Like, right?
Why can't you just go, excuse me, I want to pick another one?
There's probably rules. I was thinking that too. I'm like, there's got to be rules. Because, I mean, at some point, even whatever's left, I'm thinking a couple of people would have done that if they would have like honestly, Buddha pulled off a freaking miracle. I was like, wait.
The freezing.
Yeah. I mean, he's a smart guy.
Skull.
And when he was describing his dish as he was making it, I'm like, sounds like a dud. I'm like, this is going to be boring. And it's a snow cone.
It was basically a frozen coconut snow cone in a skull mold because as he bragged to all of us on the show, I spent $1,000 on molds and I brought them with me.
Okay. Oh, I missed that. But
so that's why he had the skull mold.
Perfect. Okay. Well, all bring a little something.
Well, he brought $1,000 worth of molds and he's like, I'm going to shove these in these judges' faces as much as humanly possible.
Well, I thought it was a great idea.
It was cool looking.
Yeah, it was cool. And they loved it.
He won?
Did he win?
No, wait. I can't remember.
I think he did win.
I think he did win. He got eliminated.
Yeah.
Because he got immunity.
Yes, you're
That's right.
Yeah, he won.
Well, anyway, so he won the immunity. Victoire, they're like, why did you do this? This isn't even sushi. This is cooked.
It was all cooked.
She's like, I don't know.
She's like, I just basically didn't know what the hell to do. So
I thought it was great. But
luckily you don't get eliminated on quick fires.
But no kidding. So then it's like, okay, elimination challenge. You have to make something that you can't eat with utensils. And I'm like, all right. That's fine.
Well, I mean,
it's a cool challenge.
You didn't have to lick a plate. I mean,
dude, okay. Side note.
I had such issues with that.
I have been caught licking plates before.
Well, I mean,
it's mortifying.
Plates, I know.
But but it was funny how he, I don't remember who it was, but he goes, well, I mean, look, I think the chef is really wonderful, but some of these people were lapping it up.
I was thinking the same thing, and then he said it.
And they're all, I'm
like, oh, right, cow.
Like, this is almost a sexual experience.
Oh, stop it.
I'm like, stop it. It's just a dude, man. I mean, come on.
I have to take back what I said last week about Amar. He blew it up this week.
He's
phenomenal.
Well, here's what was hilarious. I'm watching the show and Daryl's deciding he's going to watch this week's episode with me.
Okay.
And so he's watching it, and I said, damn, the Middle Eastern men are kicking ass.
They were.
And then, I don't know if it was Tom or if it was Padma, but they go, man, the Middle Eastern men are really ruling this week. And they're all, yeah, because they were the top 3.
Right.
But
there was another season in the past, and it's been a long time, but they were 3 dudes that were kind of rocking it like every episode and every challenge. And they were called the Bear Cub.
Oh, geez.
Bear Cubs. Basically, they were like 3, because they were big, huge dudes, and they had that in common. So they were like a couple 100 pounds, easy each.
Wow.
Yeah, but they slowly dissolved.
They do. And that's the thing is, like, you can't say, oh, I know how this is going to end, because some people are playing the game.
Yeah.
For example,
well,
Sarah's
no joke.
She's freaking killing it. She's like, I gave him a dessert rib, and they're like, we love it.
I know.
But the thing is that she knows she's not going to win anything yet, but she's playing it very safe, and her flavors are money. And so I'm like, I think Sarah's going to be the last woman standing in the finale.
She almost won her season.
I think that
she took second in her season.
She's like, go ahead, Middle Eastern men, take all the glory, because I'm going to be there at the end and kick your ass.
Indeed. And the thing I love about Sarah is she has not strayed from her roots, and that's what gets a lot of people is they try to do things that's outside of what their comfort zone is, or not even their comfort zone, but outside of what their food flavors are.
You mean like Dale with his mole that he's only made 5 times?
Seriously. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Why did he do that?
And Victoire with her sushi. I'm like, why?
Why would you do that? And then you know what? On that same note, why did Victoire decide to not do the puff the way it's supposed to be made? She boiled everything instead of frying everything.
I know.
And they're like, all the flavors in the water. Why did you give us this boiled potato plate? Well, and she's like, well, we puff, we fry everything. And they're like, and you didn't do that because?
And why not? Yeah.
What?
Well, I was trying to switch it up, whatever. And here's
Same
the thing.
with Dale.
These judges.
And his ugly chicken. It was pale, white little nuggets.
Gray, yeah.
They were literally unbreaded chicken nuggets.
Nobody wanted to eat it.
They're like, this chicken. And he's like, well, I thought it tasted good. I'm like, did you though? Did you? Because I don't think you did.
Well, they pretty much convinced themselves that it has to taste good because I have no time to make something
It's like,
else.
well, I was really relying on the mole being delicious. Like, well, it was okay. And then he goes, this is the whitest Mexican food I've ever had.
Seriously. It was bland. It looked bland.
Dumb.
Yeah. So I honestly was not a fan of several of the chef's choices on that particular challenge.
I was irritated that Dale even gets another chance in Last Chance Kitchen. Can we just...
If they bring him back again...
Boy, don't go away mad. Just go away.
Well, he's got to play Sylvia.
Well, he beat Sylvia.
Oh, you watched it?
I did.
Oh, crap. Did I watch it?
Last Chance Kitchen, they had to make a French omelet. And
I did watch it.
She made a fucking rustic omelet.
She made this like a scramble, basically.
She's like, this is what we serve at the Savoy. And I'm like, okay, first of all, it's not a French omelet. He specifically said French omelet.
Yes, he did.
You handed it to Dale.
You did.
Handed it to
because
him.
There is in chef world, there's a very specific way you make a classic French omelet.
It is
and
not
he
easy.
did it. It's not easy.
Exactly the way.
He did it exactly
Brown
the
butter,
way.
All the things.
Yep, it was light pale. It was perfectly folded.
And I'm sitting there going, God damn it, Dale's gonna win.
I know, huh?
I was so irritated.
Well, let's look at it this way. The people who are left who will get eliminated behind him are no joke.
No, they're all
He will
serious.
have a very, very difficult time beating anybody that gets cut at this point.
I'm a little concerned about Tom from Germany. And this is why. I think that Tom is just as good as Buddha. I think he's equally as talented and equally as innovative.
Yeah.
The problem is that he every week ends up with a technical difficulty. Every week it's technical or execution, which means I think he's not enjoying the time limits.
Right.
I think when he's at home and he's probably just killing it.
I'm sure he is.
And he's done this, so he knows what's expected of him, but he's just like, it's almost like he's like, if I win, I win. If I don't, I don't. And I'm starting to see that with some of the chefs. They're like, I'm kind of missing my family. I'm kind of missing my restaurant.
Yeah.
I kind of don't want to do this anymore. And I don't think I'm going to win.
Yeah.
I think Tom could be in the finale if he gets his shit together.
For sure. And he still might be, but, and that's the difference between him and like Buddha. Buddha is focused.
He is so laser focused.
Determined.
He's like, I'm going to fucking win.
He is like not going to be, he is not going to be distracted, and he is in it to win it.
Which will make me laugh if Sarah beats him at the end.
Sarah,
I would love it.
That's the thing I love about Sarah is because she's a little bit more mature.
She's taking everything with a really good attitude.
Yes.
She's focused, but in a different way. She's a little more present.
Exactly.
She's really enjoying everything.
Well, and she has a lot to lose. She has a newborn, and she is like, look, if I'm going to fucking be here,
I better win.
I am going to win.
It's so true.
And she knows how she came so close to winning her season. And honestly, there's probably a lot of people who have opinions about her season because
really?
She lost to Kelsey Barnard Clark, I believe her name is. She's also from the South. I don't know if it was Kentucky or Alabama, but it was a very, very close competition.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people feel like Sarah should have won.
Oh, okay. Well, there's been a couple seasons like that.
Yeah.
There's been a couple. I don't know what's going on with Tom, but I think it's because the food is so elevated. I mean, Judge
his
Tom,
outfit
after the after party with Andy. What's his name?
Yes.
Andy, I don't know what his name
Watch
is.
What Happens Live.
Yes, they always
Andy Cohen.
They do an immediate after party or after interview.
He was like
with
jungle
Andy Cohen.
safari chic.
He looked like Indiana Jones.
I'm like, what are you doing? When he came out, I was like, okay, we know you're rich, we know you're cool, we know you're a chef, but I mean, this look is just who?
It was
picked this for you
when they were presenting. I think he's single. That tells me
no.
everything.
He's married.
No,
unless he's divorced, he's married.
Wow, his wife allowed it because you know what? I don't.
He's
care.
one of those chefs that has a wife that he's been with forever, and like nobody knows who she is.
Okay.
She's never in the public.
That's fine.
Yeah, she's
just. I did know. I was telling Daryl when we were watching it. I said, watch Tom talk about. They just got a Mars dish, I believe. And I said, watch Tom. He's geeking out so much. He's so nerding out that he's
with
like
the food.
He's like blinking fast. He's like he almost cannot contain his excitement about what he's doing. And he was like that day one. He's like, I cannot believe we're eating this food. Yeah, it must be amazing. Well, I'm jealous.
Seriously, this competition in this last episode was finally like the episode where we are at another level with these chefs. Like it's going to be so hard for them to cut anyone at this point.
I think there's a few. Like I know you and I talked before the show that Gabriel did well this week.
He did much better than he's been doing.
He finally stuck with what he knows. He did wonderful. The rainbow tortilla was beautiful, and you know his obsession with corn, non-homogenized, non-hormone. And stop it with
the and here's the other thing that kills chefs. I've seen them do this because as they progress, they start to gain confidence, and that's good. They need to, right? Yes. But then they start doing their what they want to. Like I'm all about sustainability, and then they go too far.
Yes, and they go, this doesn't taste like anything.
And it's like at the end of the day, it's like, well, did you want your dish to taste good and you wanted to move forward and progress in the competition, or did you want to talk about how sustainable your vegetables are? Exactly. I'm like, which one?
They do get a little, why is there air?
And he was doing that.
He's like, why is there air? Why is there corn? It must be sustainable. And it's like, this represents the tortilla. And I'm like, stop with the people.
I mean, it's okay to a point, but it just can't be your whole shtick.
And they're like, oh, it's a beautiful taco. It tastes amazing.
You just have to cook really good food at the end of the day.
I mean, really, and what a relief for them to not put him in the bottom again.
I know, right?
Jesus, I mean, they got to be sick of it. They're
honestly,
like, Gabriel,
honestly, yeah.
Give us anything that makes you middle of the pack once.
I know. Well, they're like you said, we're starting to really recognize the middle of the pack folks from the people who are pulling ahead.
Yes,
it's like a horse race. You know, the ones that are getting tired are kind of falling behind.
They're having rough weeks, and hopefully one of two things will happen. They'll be like, I don't even care anymore, like Tom every other week. Yeah, where he thinks he doesn't care, so then he gets to the bottom. He's like, oh dear, I think I do care.
Like I don't want to.
And he pulls his shit. I think Tom's going to end up in Last Chance Kitchen. I think he's going to come back.
He could,
and because I think
unless Dale just. Does his thing because they just think it's like, God, seriously, this dude's gonna come back for the third time.
If Dale rises from the dead twice,
and what if he won? I'd die.
He's not good enough.
No, I agree.
I'm sorry.
I agree. He's
I'm sure
definitely not.
Obviously, he's an amazing chef,
but
we don't have to preface that. But I mean, come on.
Yeah, I don't think he's worthy of the title.
He can't beat Sarah.
No, I don't think he can beat Buddha, honestly.
Me neither.
I don't think he can beat Ali or Charbel. Any of those guys. They're all amazing.
I love Charbel.
I do too.
He's so
well.
lovely.
I like Ali too.
I adore Ali. Amar, I don't think Amar's going to make it to the finale. I'm just saying it now.
You know, the thing about Amar is that when he is amazing, he's fantastic.
Yes.
But when he's not being fantastic, he's like middle of the road.
Yes.
Mediocre.
I just think that towards the end, as we've seen many times on the show, you have to be gaining gaining speed about
the whole
now.
time. And you have to keep going, like getting better.
About now is when they start going, okay, I don't want to be middle of the road anymore. I need them to know that I'm finale worthy, because they can kind of make those decisions. Yeah. They can kind of decide.
Well, I mean, Sarah, quite honestly, I was ready for her to like pick it up. I'm like, okay, you know what? She hasn't won a lot of challenges.
Sarah has never been in the bottom, and she's been in the top 3 times.
But did she win anything?
No. Maybe she won. No, she hasn't.
You really need to win something.
She's got to step it up this week.
Yeah.
So we'll see how
you got to win
does.
something. You got to either win a quick fire or an elimination challenge.
That's why Nicole is going to stay another week, because she finally won.
Yeah, no shit, huh?
Yes, and I like Nicole.
Well, I think she's, here's the thing about these chefs, because this is the World All-Star thing. The chefs that are judging them are primarily American,
right,
with the exception of the guest judges. Mm-hmm. So some of the food that they are getting to taste is so outside of the box of and these chefs have tasted everything. They've been all around the world.
Yes.
They've been everywhere. So they've tasted it all, but they are even getting things that they are maybe not familiar with.
Right.
So for them as a chef and as a judge chef, they're like, this is fantastic. Right. Like if they eat something that they've never eaten before, they're doing cartwheels.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, this is the conclusion of our mini episode of Top Chef episode 7, season 20. We'll be back next time with probably 1 or 2 reviews of the next 2 episodes. We're getting close to the end.
And hopefully we won't be seeing Dale again.
Dale, go away. I'm sorry. Go back to Canada. All right. Bye.
Bye, everyone.